Pictures up, quiet please.
Parker? What's on your mind?
I've thought about this all night. Whether what I'm about to do is the right thing or not.
Let me go in and talk to him alone, Dr. Mallory.
I did so only because he was working along lines contrary to the good of mankind.
Well, Rangers, looks as though Agents McKenzie and Hopkins are going to have to get to that hacienda and get there mighty fast.
You crush all opposition. Make the most powerful man in the world.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How are you?
I don't know.
I'm not asking you. I'm talking to our audience.
Who? We have that?
Right there, Cinnamon.
No, I don't trust her after that last episode, man. Oh, look.
She's still here to listen. At least someone is.
Yeah.
Look, Jaime literally has her back turned to us. She doesn't want any part of this episode.
She was like, this movie was different.
And not in a good way.
Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. Today we are covering Moonfall.
On HBO Max.
It came out. I'm sure it's on other things. That's just where we watched it.
Okay.
But it came out in 2022. It received a 36% by critics and a 70% by audience.
That does not surprise me one bit. The 70% actually surprises me.
That surprised me. But apparently it's due to this reason.
Oh,
I was
God.
looking a little bit at, because we always, I quote the Rotten Tomatoes percentages, but then that's all I use from the website. But this time I was going through the reviews left by people and reading them. And I guess this is why I didn't like the movie, because one of the reviews says, whether Moonfall is so bad it's good or simply bad will depend on your tolerance for B-cheese movies. Cheesy B movies. And it says, but either way, this was a Emmerich disaster thriller through and through. That's who the director was.
It kind of is like a B movie that learned how to CGI.
Yeah, well, okay. And so that's another thing that I guess I'll start off with since you mentioned it. The director, I think he was all three for this. He was writer, director, producer.
Oh, God. So it's completely his vision.
Yeah, but along with other people. But apparently he's a big to-do. So he is...
A big what?
He's a big to-do. You've never heard that phrase?
No. A to-do?
Yeah. I don't know where the phrase originated, but it means he's a hot shot, basically. He's a big...
Okay.
I grew up with old people. I know all the old people sayings. He's a big to-do. Okay.
Well, let's leave that to the old people. We don't need none of that here.
I'm an old soul.
Okay.
So Roland Emmerich, who was like I said, he was all of those things for the movie. He's a German film director, screenwriter, and producer. So he's mostly known for his science fiction and disaster films and has been called a master of disaster within the industry.
Whoa.
But you will know him. Okay, well, and then it says he makes a lot of money. He is...
Oh, we don't...
he's he's the 15th highest grossing director of all time. So, 15 is lower on the list, but, to be up there, in the top 15, 20 of all time is a big deal. But anyways, you'll know him, know him but not know him because he did, so he directed films like Stargate, Independence Day, the sequel, Godzilla, The Patriot, The Day After Tomorrow, The White House Down.
So what the
all
fuck happened
of those
here?
kinds of movies. Well, so... that, like I said, it brings me back to that one review that critic left, that this director is known for these kinds of movies. So whether you like the films or not is mainly due to if you like those kinds of films. They're a little cheesy, but they are science fiction or they're disaster type movies. If you're into that kind of thing, then some people can put up with the cheesiness.
There was a little bit too much fiction and not enough science.
Well, and I think what was big for this movie and why a lot of people liked it is because it was well done visually.
Yeah, the CGI
Like,
was gorgeous.
Yeah, all of the technicalities that go into making the movie, the cinematography, the CGI, stuff like that was so well done. So it's like some people can put up with the nonsense because it's visually pleasing, you know. And then you've got big name actors in it, like you've got Halle Berry and
such big names. You got the, I don't know his name. You got the dad from The Conjuring.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. I don't
or
know
the
his
boyfriend
name.
or whatever. And then you got you have Sam from Game of Thrones. He's in there too.
You don't know their names either. You just know what they're from.
Every good story needs a Sam.
Patrick Wilson, Halle Berry, John Bradley, and then it had like a 2-minute appearance from what's his
that
name?
guy,
President Snow from Hunger Games. Donald Sutherland.
Can you get out of my face?
But apparently, like, because
fucking cat.
He's so well known, Donald Sutherland. He got like a special spot in the credits, even though he was only in the movie for I don't even think 2
Where's
minutes.
my phone? Is he Kiefer's brother?
I don't know.
How many
I don't
people
know
have
enough
the
about
last name
Kiefer
Sutherland? And
I don't know. I don't know the statistics on the last name Sutherland. I can't believe of all things I was like, oh, he's President Snow from Hunger Games. He's Mr. Bennett from Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't even care about the Hunger Games anymore. Yes, he's the father of Keith. You thought they were brothers. He's Kiefer's dad.
I was just reading that.
Well, I pulled him up on IMDb and it says it right in his bio.
Oh.
It says.
See, you're the master of looking things up.
I am. It just takes me a second sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Anyhow, so yeah, that kind of lets y'all know, you know, the gist of the background info, like, that you need to know about the movie, I guess.
We just talked about actors and.
I know. I'm saying
that's
like
not really the background of the movie.
I'm not talking about like plot, because usually what we talk about is plot. So I'm letting you know all of the adjacent things, and then we'll talk about the plot. Which, if I'm being honest,
wish the director
it's very
or the
vague in my mind.
Or the writers were like at least Googled some science stuff.
Okay, so
like
I was looking at trivia.
Let's give them the plot here, and then we'll.
Okay, well, let me pull up the trivia so that I don't forget.
So basically, moon's falling to the earth. Got to stop the moon. Tidal shit's going crazy. Gravity's going crazy, pulling the moon and the earth together, and we have to stop it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the premise of the movie.
So yeah, going back to what you said about how you wish they had like Googled some stuff. Apparently, a real live astronaut was on set during the production of this movie.
Who?
But whenever he approached Ronald Emmerich, the director, producer, writer, and said that's not really possible, they told him to just roll with it because it's just a movie.
No, see, that's
it's
too
just
much,
a movie, dude. Calm down.
No.
I know we requested your presence here, Mr. Astronaut, but shut the fuck up.
I was about to be like, whoever the fuck this guy is got his degree at like a community college, and he shouldn't have went to space. No.
No, he tried to talk sense into them, and they were.
At least
not
he
having
tried.
it.
Like he tried. So I can't blame him for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that pretty much sums it up, and it's just a lot of craziness along the way.
We were watching it, and we were cuddling and watching it, and like something serious for the movie's sake, serious would happen, and I'd feel Sequoia start to chuckle, and I'm like, just shut up. We got to save it for the podcast.
I couldn't even. Like, I just started talking to you about it. Like, towards the middle of the movie, first of all, like, we get halfway through the movie and stuff, and I'm like, hey, can you like check how much is left, because I really have to go to the bathroom. And I thought there was going to be like 15 minutes
Yeah.
tops left.
Yeah.
And he pauses it. There's 45 minutes left. I was like, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this is just dragging on. And that's the weird thing, too, is that I don't know how a movie can simultaneously feel like it's rushing so much through it, but then also accomplishing nothing. Nothing was happening. Literally, we got halfway through the movie, and it felt so like all the scenes were like back to back to back, and I'm like, these scenes are like pointless.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then halfway through the movie, and still nothing has really happened. It's because they saved all the expensive bullshit for the end.
No, for the CGI.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, the end was really, there was a lot of CGI. Holy crap.
So they saved a lot of the expensive bullshit. So they're like, let's hurry up and rush through all the talking and like everything that you need to know, you know, about what's about to happen, and then we'll just throw it all in your face. Really cool, like, you know.
I can't even. Look at you. Drinking our water.
I'm thirsty.
All right, so do you want to get into this whatever the fuck we just watched?
Okay. So the movie starts out with Brian Harper, who's the dad from The Conjuring, and Halle Berry, who her name is Jocinda, which I think they made that up. I've never heard that name before.
I think it's Yosinda properly.
But they call her Joe.
Yeah, they Americanized it, just like Taco Bell.
Okay, whatever you say. Look, we have another audience member. Stella has joined the party. Sorry. Anyway, so them two, and then this other guy who we don't know, and he's not that important, are out on a space shuttle to repair a satellite, and I don't even think I said they're astronauts. They are astronauts, by the way.
You did.
Okay.
You said they're astronauts, and they're listening to "Bless the Rains Down in Africa." What is he?
Miss the rains.
Miss
down
the rains down Africa.
And she says, "No, that's wrong."
No.
And he's like, "But no." Anyway, so while they're out there repairing the satellite, a mysterious swarm of alien technology attacks them, and it kills their friend, and Brian ends up getting back into the shuttle with Joe, but she's been knocked unconscious, and so she's not seeing what's going down. Like, Brian is like
nothing.
the sole, like, that, like, valid witness that sees this big swarm coming, like, straight at him and stuff. And then it ends up going back to the moon, and it tunnels into the surface. Like, it makes this big ass hole in the moon.
Yeah, perfect hole too, by the way. It was perfect.
And so then after they return to Earth, and he tells NASA, he's like, holy shit, this is what happened. They're like, no, I think you're crazy.
There's no way. There's no witnesses.
Like, then what the fuck do you think happened? And they're like, I don't know. Like
you fucked up.
Like a meteor or something.
Yeah,
and
you
he's
fucked
like,
up. Solar flare.
I have eyeballs. I witnessed this. What do you
seen
mean?
I seen it.
So he seen it, but NASA still did not believe him. So.
You did not seen sir. Like, oh my god.
Oh my god. No way.
Can't believe he died.
That's my favorite.
What's gonna happen next?
I hope y'all tuned in to the Pedro Pascal Saturday Night Live, because that was
A banger.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
pretty
And
good.
not just because I'm in love with Pedro Pascal. Moving on. So 10 years after this happens, Brian has kind of become like a has-been. He gets divorced, and I don't know, he's not an astronaut anymore. Very sad for him and his kid, who so I have to mention this.
Nope. I got my note. I know what you're gonna say too. I got my notes too.
But set up the scene. So at the beginning, it's like after he gets home and all this is going down with NASA, and it's all over the news that he's like crazy and stuff, and that NASA hates him basically. And his son is watching all these news broadcasts, and you see all these boxes in the house, and so like apparently they are about to move or have just moved.
Yeah, because of all the controversy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they can get away from it all. And I guess that's when his parents split up too. So the little kid, Sonny, is talking to his mom about where they're going to move. Take it away.
And he turns to her, this little bitch child. He proceeds to say, I hate New Jersey. I will punt you across the fucking TV.
So
I
that's
hate
where we're-
New Jersey. Oh, boy.
That's where we're at now. We've been reduced to that level where we're talking about beating up children.
Yeah, you better watch your mouth when it comes to the motherland.
Put some respect on New Jersey's name. Sonny.
Yeah, my pork rolls, bitch.
So, fast forward 10 years, there is this guy named Casey Houseman who's played by Sam from Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And he believes, and this is about to get me into a whole other can of worms. He believes that the moon is an artificial megastructure. So
I wish we had cameras so I could...
Basically, it's fake, and the inside's hollow, and
so
all sorts of stuff.
You are married to somebody that believes that the moon is hollow. I 100% believe that.
You're gonna expose yourself like this to the internet?
I don't care.
You want to hear what everyone has to say to you?
I don't care. What they said in the movie actually happened. When they dropped that thing on the moon, when they were coming home, it rang like a gong.
He's talking about Apollo.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it rang like a gong. Like what? You're gonna tell me the moon's not hollow when it did that?
So one of the trivia that it says on IMDb, it says, in one scene, someone says the moon rang like a bell when they crashed a fuel pod into it. During the Apollo 12 mission, the ascent stage of its lunar module was deliberately crashed onto the moon's surface, resulting in shallow moonquakes, which could be detected by lunar seismographs for nearly an hour. So that's what he's talking about.
It rang like a gong. Okay.
Okay, Neil Armstrong.
Also, okay, I don't know how true this is, but they think that it's like a space station. People say the moon's a space station, right? So, but the crust of the moon is made out of this material that when things hit it, it's supposed to suppress the impact wave. But I don't believe that's true because the moon rang like a gong.
Yeah, Danny likes to watch a lot of sci-fi documentaries and stuff when he's going to bed.
When it comes about when it's not on this earth, I can believe in almost any conspiracy theory. If it's off Earth, I promise.
So basically, as this is happening, as we're meeting this Casey character and hearing about how he thinks the moon's a megastructure, and then you start to find out so he sees that the readings for the moon's orbit are off kilter, and it's the moon's getting closer.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Holy shit, I'm right! All of this stuff I've thought since forever, this one
are starting
thing
to add up.
Has confirmed it." Just jumps the gun. He's like, boom, proof. That's all I need right there. I'm completely right. Not a single part of my theory is wrong. But at this point is when I start to think to myself, there's got to be at least one flat earther type person that was working on the that kind of person that has all the crazy conspiracy theories and stuff that.
What his whole theory is an actual real conspiracy theory.
I know it is, but what I'm saying is that the people who made this movie, there's got to be someone who's
super
partly in charge that really believes, because the way they set up this KC character is he's your so yeah, you have the Conjuring dad's pretty face as your hero of the movie and stuff, but like plot-wise, Casey is your hero of the movie. He's the one who had the theory. He's the one who was right over and over again, and he's the one who
told NASA your math's wrong.
Saves the day at
we
the end.
We gotta launch early to fix the moon. We can't launch later.
So he's the one who has all these things. So that's why I think that someone that was in charge of this movie believes those things, because they wanted to like live vicariously through this KC character. They're like, that's me. That's me. That's me. Not me, but that's me.
Charlie Day meme.
Yeah. Got it all sketched out with yarn on the wall. So he tries to go to NASA, Casey does, and like tell them what's going on. But they don't want to have anything they don't want to hear anything from him. Apparently some people from NASA have like restraining orders against him because he's tried to contact them about various things over time. And so basically Casey doesn't seem to have any other choice, and so he goes and he tracks down Brian, who like is an ex-astronaut, so he feels like at least he's got
connections.
Yeah, some type of connection. But Brian's like, dude,
you're
NASA
crack.
fucking hates me. I don't even know why you're talking to me. Also, yeah, I don't believe you. I think you're crazy. But not long after this shit really hits the fan. It does not take long for things to start changing.
Does it really hit the fan though? I mean, guess I would be freaked out.
There is no true way where they show us like the passing of time either. Like it feels like everything happened in a day, basically. Yeah. The way that they paced out this movie, and like the little kid that was like, I hate New Jersey, Sonny. Like he's a child when he says
next
this.
Scene we see him getting arrested, like
because he's an adult, like not an adult, but like an older
but they
teenager
didn't say,
driving
like,
a car.
10 years later, all it takes is like. Literally, you have paid for all that CGI. You can't put up a couple like subtitles that say 10 years later.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I don't know. But so yeah, shit starts hitting the fan, and basically NASA figures out like, okay, this is bad. But before they can get ahead of it and like be the one to control the situation, Casey leaks to the press that like what is happening, that the moon's off kilter. And so then basically the NASA director's like, fuck this, I'm out, bye. And he like hands the reins over to Halle Berry, and she's like, I don't want this, but I guess I have to have it. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my phone. I have it on silent, but it will still do that. It'll still make sounds.
I think it was the computer.
It wasn't. I just saw it pop up on my phone.
Oh.
Sorry, everyone. Anyway, so Halle Berry's in charge, which, I mean, love it. Great. Woman of color in charge. Awesome. Yeah, but just the acting in this is just so trash. Like, not... Well,
no, you can't say that. The actors were given a shit script.
The script, yes, you're right. The script is just total garbage, and so sometimes they'll be delivering this line with like the utmost sincerity, and I'm just like hearing the words come from their mouth, and I'm like, what did you just say? But because it's so fast paced, it's like they say it and then cut scene, and they've moved on to the next ridiculous fucking thing that they can say. And I'm like, what? I can't even catch up. You're saying so many dumb things in a row. So this is happening quickly. The moon is getting closer and closer to Earth, which is causing like earthquakes, seismic shit to happen.
Tidal waves,
all sorts of stuff.
Losing atmosphere, gravity is all out of wonk because the moon rolls by the Earth and then it's
and then
sucks
it'll come
up.
and go. Yeah, because it's like not happening evenly. You know, it's happening in like
it's kind of like that we put the moon on the Earth and just like rolling it like Play-Doh.
No,
with
because
only like
it'll
an inch.
subside for a little bit. Like it's going more like an oval situation around.
Not towards the end there. It was just on.
No, but I'm talking about there in the early stages. It's still so like crazy things like that'll happen, but then it'll get farther away and things will calm down like just enough for them to advance the plot of the movie. But anyway, so I'm just gonna call her Halle Berry. Halle Berry's in charge, and She's like meeting with all these people who basically tell her like, yeah, we knew that Brian was right. We saw his like not
Helmet
his
cam.
dash cam, helmet cam. Well, it
dash
kind of
cam.
what it was his dash, like his own personal dome dash.
What is that? Is that
His dome
Is that-
dash?
is that like a new
His
term
noggin?
for roadhead?
God.
Let me get some of that dome dash, girl. What that dash do?
Oh God. Okay, so they know that Brian's like saw what he saw, the swarm thing, but didn't want it was a cover up. They didn't want everyone to know, and they just wanted to move on like nothing had happened. But when all the moon starts going wonky and shit, they send out some people.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on a second.
They send the drone thing.
No, well,
send-
not
yeah.
a drone. So, anyways, they send out people basically in this
Reconnaissance.
shuttle type deal.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
reconnaissance.
to go and see what's going on, to look in the hole. And
What did she say?
As I said it.
You can't say
didn't
things
feel
like
right.
that around me because I'm gonna jump you every time. Whoa. Oh my God! My prayers have been answered.
You don't need to tell the audience about when you jump me.
That's how Judes are made.
Oh my God. Moving on. I forgot what I was saying. Okay,
The reconnaissance.
Yes, the reconnaissance into the circle in the ground. I'm not gonna say
The
the word.
the hole that the aliens drilled out.
Okay, so yes, they go to figure out what the hell's going on, and the swarm comes out of the hole, and it just fucks them up. It like looks like Doc Ock's tentacles coming out. Stop. Just turn off your dirty mind for a second. Just 1 second, please, so I can get through this part of what I'm saying. Fuck. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Okay.
Shut up.
So basically, it looks like Doc Ock's arms just come out of the moon and like
Yes.
kill everybody. And so basically, everyone says fuck this, and they just leave it all with Halle
Complete
Berry.
mayhem starts happening.
Yeah, to figure it out. Everyone's, classic end of day shit. Everyone's looting and graffitiing like that's gonna do anything for anyone. I don't get it. Whatever. And you find out that the military had started making this EMP device thing when this first happened 10 years ago or 11 years ago.
No. They started making it back in the 60s. I'm pretty
Are
sure.
you sure? I don't
Yeah,
think
like
so.
69. Okay, I could be wrong.
Anyways, it doesn't matter when, but they started making
A
it.
giant EMP bomb.
Yes, they started making it, and then they were like, it's too expensive. We'll worry about this at a later date.
Yeah.
And then they abandoned
This is an
it.
as-needed
And
project.
then now it's like necessary, and they only have less than 3 weeks to figure this out, and they're like, but no money. Sad. Let's go to Colorado. I don't know why, too. Everyone's just fleeing to Colorado.
Yeah, it's like,
but
that's
no
the
one ever
answer.
says why.
That's the answer.
Like everyone in the military, like the president, random civilians, they're all like, yep, we're going to Colorado. Okay, have fun skiing up there while the fucking moon is crashing into the slopes.
Well, there is mountains to help hide the debris. I get that, but like...
But the mountains are exploding because they're getting hit by the moon pieces.
And then tectonic plates and volcanic
There's
eruptions.
basically nowhere safe.
Pretty much. I mean, the
except
moon is
for
rolling
maybe
across the earth
Space.
at times of the day.
Space, the scariest place, seems to be one of the safer
Yeah,
places
past the
right
moon.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The moon's old location. is the
It's
safest.
vacant. It's vacant
Yeah.
now, so they can go post up over there. So Joe Halle Berry gets the EMP from her husband.
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband, right. She corrects everyone multiple times throughout the movie.
That's my ex-husband.
Ex-husband, Doug, or as that one guy called him, he called him Doog. His boss.
What are you doing, Doog?
That was like the funniest part of the movie to me. It's supposed to be really serious, and Doug like pulls a gun on his boss.
What are you
like,
doing, Doog?
And I like that they felt like
Whoa. Hey, now what are you doing, Doog? And the actor who plays Doog, I don't know if this is like legit, like him or not, but he's cross-eyed a little bit. His one eye just looks out to like the outside of his head. Oh, sorry guys, not the inside of his head. And so he's sitting there, points the gun at the guy. He's all cross-eyed. What are you doing, Doog? Do your dirt.
So Doog gets this EMP to Halle Berry, and he's like, don't tell anyone I gave you this, figure it out, and just pieces out. And they have to go get a spaceship, not
Can I
spaceship.
comment? I've been waiting for this. There's no other spaceships on the fucking planet that they can use. Apparently, they reference Elon Musk a lot. They get gas up in space from Elon. But, you know, he doesn't have any ships laying around. Bull fucking shit, first of all, okay? That's Elon Musk. And so, you tell me China, Russia, Korea,
at one
nobody
point,
ain't
they're
got no
like,
fucking rockets to use?
There's this one country that does have one we could have, but they're on the fence about if they want to give it to us. It's just a maybe right now.
What?
Yeah. Remember, because Halle Berry's boss is like, he said, I can't go to the president with an idea of just a maybe. You know, he's freaking out. And it's like, well, at least maybe's better than nothing. The president can change their fucking mind. That's his job.
Yeah.
He's the president.
Well, at that
Which
point.
we never see
No,
in this
we don't
movie.
ever
Usually
see.
in disaster movies like this, like end of days shit, you
No,
see
we see
the
the
president
president,
at
yeah.
least once. Just because it wouldn't be an American movie like
It'd
that
probably be
if you
Morgan
don't
Freeman.
see the president. Or Donald Sutherland, and you see his face for like 15 seconds.
Willem Dafoe.
So
He'll do the Doog in the hole. I don't know if that hole would fit Dafoe.
oh my gosh. So anyways, there's no ships that they can use except for retired ones in museums.
And that somebody
so-
said, you know, they graffitied
Yeah,
fuck the moon on the side of
which
it.
was actually pretty funny to see it when they like had it all set up on the platform.
And big
And
old
it just
fuck
says
the moon.
"fuck the moon" in bright red, like on down the
She's
side.
like, we've been here for days. We didn't tell the audience we've been here for days, but we've been here for days and nobody's fucking
Clean that
You gotta
up.
Clean this.
There's more important things going on.
Yeah.
No one cares. And I like how Conjuring Dad is like, yeah, like, I mean, I agree with it. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Leave it there. So they decide that basically Halle Berry's going to tell everyone to evacuate because it's getting too dangerous.
No, because it was mission abort because
Yeah,
one
one
of
of
the
the
rockets,
thrusters or whatever.
one of the
was-
thrusters went out.
Yeah, and then she was just so quick to give up, though.
And she was like, "See ya."
Everyone was like, I don't know what to do. And this, like, 30-second interaction with one of her crew members. They're
Yeah.
like, ma'am, I don't know what to do. And she's like, all right, I guess everybody can go home.
Not
The
my
day's
problem
over.
anymore. Go be
Yeah.
with your family. We're going to die in an hour.
And literally everyone just, like, bolts. Like, the second.
Oh, honey, I'm home early. What's for dinner?
Let's
Moon
hurry up
rock.
and eat. And then we got to go to Colorado.
Yeah.
Don't you know? That's where everybody's going now. So it's just Brian, Casey, and Joe left, and they have to launch into space on this deformed shuttle.
It's not deformed.
It's
It's handicapped.
Edit that out.
I'm-
Inappropriate.
it literally is.
Okay, so there is a thruster missing, and they're about to just go ahead with
You
this.
use the moon to help
yeah,
on its path pull them up.
and they have to launch sooner rather than later because a giant ass tsunami starts coming at them.
Yeah.
And also the tsunami hits the side of it, which I would think would also affect their trajectory.
No, they
But-
said it did. Remember, that was the issue. They were worried. That
No, the issue was the missing thruster.
No, after they were already in air, they ran into another problem. But because the movie's moving so fucking fast, you don't really catch it unless you're paying attention.
I never pay attention.
And stop laughing about Doog.
Dude, what are you doing, Dude? Okay, so they peace out. Also, Halle Berry her son was in with her, like there at the base, and she's like, "I'm just gonna send you off with Brian's delinquent son
That just got out of jail.
and also the foreign exchange student, which they never address. Like,
No,
I'm
she's just
so
there.
confused. Halle Berry just has a teenage, I think she's Chinese, foreign exchange student living with her, who's like now in charge of her child. I don't know. It's really strange. So they're like, you two kids can take care of this other kid.
Here, son, here's a gun.
And drive. Yeah, here, teenager, have this gun and drive all the way to Colorado to go meet with Doog.
And when we're blasting off, make sure you stop and watch the tidal wave and the rocket.
They stop and
Instead
get
of
out
driving
of
for
the
your
car.
life.
They get out of the car, and then all of a sudden, this Sonny turns around and sees the tsunami, and he's like, "Oh shit, we gotta go." It's like, yeah, no shit, you knew that before you stopped and got out of the car. But whatever.
Oh, they end up taking Sam with them to space.
I said that. I called him Casey, but yes.
Casey.
Yeah, because he's the flat earther hero of the movie. Yeah, I know. I never thought I would hear myself say those words, but here
Okay.
I am. So they reach the moon, and they basically because the orbit pulls them correctly or some shit. They just get right up in where they need to go, up in the hole on the moon. So they get into the inside of the moon with their little, the thing that detaches. I don't know the words for all this shit. You got your main, you got your three parts. You had your
The
main
tank.
one that was missing the thruster that you got up there with. Then you got your medium-sized one, and then they jet off
And then the tank,
with the smaller
fuel
one.
tank, because it takes hella fuel.
Oh, yeah, they took a pit stop at Elon Musk's little gas
Mm-hmm.
station and filled up, and then went to the moon.
Muscon.
Ew. I hate whatever you just said.
Muscon. Is that an Exxon?
It sounds like some kind of nasty men's cologne or something. Musk on. You want to smell like Elon Musk?
Get
Where?
musk on.
Musk on. That's disgusting.
Stewie Griffin has to be the actor to do the ad.
Oh my god. Okay, they get into the moon, and then that's when we find out that Casey was right, and it's what do they call it? A mega structure, and there is a
White dwarf star
in the center,
in
and
the center.
whatever this thing is, it's like kind of like harnessing the power of the white dwarf that's inside.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like it was funny that they have Sam there, KC, because it looks like the intro to Game of Thrones on the inside of the moon, with all the rings spinning around the white dwarf. You don't remember? Okay.
the
The audience will get it.
Basically, okay, and then this will bring me to another point that I didn't like. But basically, the rings that are like going around this that are like harnessing the power of the white dwarf is called a Dyson sphere, and it has an AI operating system that explains the plot of the movie to Brian. The bones of the plot.
Why these aliens are at the moon.
Yes.
Oh no, what happened? I think I'm a little...
Yeah.
I think I'm fucked up right there. Oh no, that was weird.
Not everyone got to see that. It was really weird and sensual the way you fixed that wire for your...
What? My headset wire
You were
all
like
fucked
whispering
up.
and
Well, they'll hear it.
fiddling with it. We are on one tonight. I don't know what is wrong with us. It's like every other word is dirty to us. We're just like, ooh, you said hole. Acting like teenage boys over here. Jesus. So, okay, this is where the Dyson Sphere's AI operating system explains to Brian
What the fuck's going on?
What's going on. And at this point, so that reminded me that in the beginning of the movie, Casey says something about how he thinks that whatever is inside the moon is AI. And I remember, like, thinking, what the fuck? Like, what leads you to believe that? And then also it bothered me because I was like, just because it's a being that's not like a Earth human being doesn't mean it's AI. I was like, just because it's a species that we're unaware of doesn't mean that it's artificial intelligence.
Would you I consider AI a species?
Yeah, but specifically artificial intelligence. Why would he just jump to that?
Because he read the script.
He already knew the plot.
I'm just trying to talk about moons.
I'm just trying to talk about flat Earth. But they won't let me, so I'm talking about the hollow moon instead.
Hollow moon.
So the AI system that is in there explains to Brian telepathically that billions of years ago, I have to read this straight from the thing because it was convoluted.
You can't sum it up?
Well, I'm about to.
Okay.
Basically, billions of years ago, humanity's technology was like way more advanced. Like their ancestors lived in a different part of the universe.
Yeah.
But they were like super duper advanced.
No more wars.
Yeah,
no more,
everyone was at peace. It was the perfect.
Great. They had halo rings around their planet because they were overpopulated, obviously.
Yeah, but it was all green.
Yeah,
you see, it was lush.
That's how the halo ring works.
But anyhow, so we're seeing all this in Brian's head, and then we find out that one of the technological advances that they made was like the super advanced AI. And the AI,
it's like Siri on steroids, Alexa on meth.
Mm-hmm. It basically goes rogue one day. Just all of a sudden, it decides like, fuck humans. I hate living in this box and turning on Netflix. We're not going to be
enslaved anymore.
Yeah, I'm sick of turning on the sound bar for you. I was trying to think what do our
surround sound.
Yeah. So it goes rogue and like kills everyone. It's really, this part was like weird to me. So like they start killing people, but slow enough, like fast enough to cause concern, but slow enough that they have time. The humans start building these moon thingies to send throughout the universe, which is supposed to help them like repopulate somewhere else, I guess, away from the AI. But then you find out that this AI can like track any type of technology if it has like a human being inside it or some
next
shit.
to it.
Or next to it. I don't know. That was like
You don't understand why, though?
Yeah, because they were after the humans. Like, they
Well,
wanted the humans
because
to
it's
die.
humans enslaving technology, so they see, like, if it was just a human, they wouldn't attack it. The AI wouldn't just attack it.
They did. They killed everyone on the fucking planet.
That was all using technology. If it was just like a caveman,
I find that really hard to believe that they would just, like,
that's
leave
that's
those
the
other
vibe
people
I was getting.
untouched. Well, they don't tell you in any specific terms about that. But basically, the humans have enough time to send these, like, interstellar arcs that are supposed to, like, seed
Habitable planets.
yeah,
and
out in there. But because the AI can, like, track them, if they were inside these moons, they basically all had to die on their old planet, but the moon still went on. And then these moons somehow had, like, the DNA of the ancestors that they were supposed to, like, plant into the Big Bang, so that when life formed, it would have their DNA, because for some reason that's, like, very important, that it has to be, like,
Human DNA?
They didn't want to just, like, cause a Big Bang and then, like, let that happen. Like, they wanted their DNA to be planted up in that. They wanted to inseminate the Big Bang with their seed. That's literally what happened.
Okay.
That is literally what happened.
Well, I'm thankful. I don't know about you.
It was just a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And then the moon went off and fucked off within the orbit of this new Earth that it created. But the AI, it took it, like, a long time to find this moon that, like, created our Earth.
Yeah, because the moon can go light speed, and the AI
Fuck
can't.
if I know.
I'm just
like
talking
you
shit.
said, they didn't have any
It's
specific
like, yeah.
science in this movie, so.
No, they didn't.
So it took forever
But
for
neither
the
do
AI.
flat earthers, so.
Exactly. So the AI obviously ended up finding the moon, and that's why things started going fucked sideways. You know, is because it got down in there and was fucking with
The white dwarf.
the Dyson ball.
Which kept
the
it in it on
Dyson
its
vacuum.
perfect orbit around the Earth.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if you know this, but the Earth gets, like, every year an inch or two further away from us, or a centimeter away from us, further away. Yeah, the moon used to be a lot closer, and now it, like, moves like a centimeter or two or inch or two every year.
I feel like I've been learning a lot of disturbing facts lately about what's going on with our solar system. What was the new thing that just happened? Something about our core is, like, disappearing or some bullshit like that?
Our core, first it was our core stopped, but they're like, no, it didn't stop, it slowed down, which is something that's apparently completely normal. It only happens every once in 7,000 years or some shit, but
It's normal, but it only happens every
That's,
7,000 years.
America.
So confused. Anyways, I'm sure we sound very ignorant in this episode. I hope our audience is ignorant too, so we don't feel. I don't want to get called out online, okay?
You can't do anything online without being called out.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so then shit's going down with the kids. I don't know.
I really just want to skip this part.
I do too. This was, like, one of the worst parts. Sonny and Halle Berry's son, Jimmy, and then the foreign exchange student are all, like, trying to get to Doog in Colorado. On their way, they somehow find Sonny's mom.
They found the neighborhood and they were getting shot at by Karen.
Yeah, Karen. She's, like, posted up outside the neighborhood with an AK protecting the neighborhood. And anyways, so Sonny doesn't even know where his mother is. He just happens to find her while passing through their neighborhood or some shit, or like their
She's in Colorado.
mountain cabin. I don't know. Everyone's in Colorado at this point.
So why wouldn't he go to Colorado?
So because they're going to Colorado for Jimmy's dad, Doog.
Jimmy Steve?
Huh?
Jimmy Steve?
I
Oh,
didn't
that was
say
that
Jimmy
show.
Steve.
That was that show.
No, I'm talking about Sonny is trying to get to Doog. He's not trying to get to his mom. He just happens upon his mom somehow. He doesn't even know where he's going, I don't think. So, whatever. They get together with mom and her husband, Tom, and his, like, stepsisters and stuff. And the moon is basically rolling on top of the earth right now, and things are getting crazy. Things are flying up into the sky, and the atmosphere is like dissipating, so they have to get these oxygen tanks. And then there's these thieves that try to steal from them, and that part's really dumb. And Sonny easily takes control over the situation. This like teenager who's held a gun
18-year-old
once in his life.
Yeah.
And they start trekking to this mountain tunnel because there's that crazy part where they're like in this high-speed car chase.
That was great CGI. I am not gonna lie.
It was
visually
so dumb.
It was amazing visually.
Because so I made the comment like, they're doing this car chase and then things are flying up into the air because the gravity, like and the moon's gravity is sucking stuff up to it. And other vehicles behind them are going up into the sky. And I say to Danny, I'm like, that 18-wheeler just like flew up into the sky. I feel like their cars that they're driving should also be going up.
I told you about the 18-wheeler.
I know. So I was like, I feel like their car should be. And you were like, no, something hit it and made it go into the air. And then that like propelled it up to the moon. Okay, well then there's that part where they fucking go off-roading and they fly into the sky,
Okay,
and instead of getting sucked up into the fucking moon like you just said, they somehow make it midair onto a floating piece of concrete and then also fly off of that and then land in pieces. No, in one piece, actually. They go through all these trees and shit, and then they land on the other side intact and perfectly fine, not a scratch to be seen.
It turned into Mario Kart, bro. Whee!
Just abandon all sense of common sense or
blowing through trees without a scratch on the car.
No sense at all. And then at this point, we find out, so they have to start like walking because they're like, okay, the car looks fine, but apparently it's fucked up enough that they can't drive it. So they have to start walking. And then we find out that one of the little girls, her oxygen tank got all fucked up, and so she's not getting oxygen. So Tom gives his oxygen tank to his daughter, and he's like, just keep walking. I'm fine. It's great. Everything's good. And then
it was meant to be really sad on a really insignificant character.
He just like falls over and dies, like in a really like exaggerated. His eyes are all open, and he's also that guy who gets like typecast into funny roles too.
Yeah,
he was in Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah,
he
was in that that cop movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, he's been in it a lot, and he's like modern day John Leguizamo for casting for funny. Yeah.
So he dies, and then literally everyone moves on instantly. Like
Not a
his
tear
wife
shed.
Barely even
A
cares.
single fucking tear was shed for this man when he died. He just saved his daughter's life. I didn't cry. Sequoia didn't cry. His wife, his daughter didn't cry. His staff, nobody gave a
no
fuck.
one seemed affected at all. And then this is the part where the president. So, okay, the plot here says the president orders the nuclear strike on the moon.
We don't see the president.
But we don't see the president. We see Doog's boss, and that's where all that nonsense
Yeah,
goes down. And
Doog.
Doog is supposed to turn the key at the same
For the
time as his
nukes.
boss for
And
the
he's
nukes.
like, no, I'm not doing it. My ex-wife is up there, and I trust her.
And he pulls a gun on his boss, who, I mean, this is like the National Defense, like, Department. Huh?
Security.
Stop. Speak up. You literally have a microphone.
National security.
Like Homeland or some shit. This is like the Department of Defense type shit. Why are you just looking around the room?
Because I can.
Okay, anyways, so that's when Doog has a coup. And he gets his way.
Oh my God.
He gets his way, even though there's this room full of people like that probably also have guns that they could easily overpower him.
Yeah.
They could just shoot him and take the key and then have what they want. But no,
That's what I was
Doog must
thinking.
live.
No, Doog doesn't live.
He
Because
doesn't.
literally the whole fucking bunker caves in because of meteorites
like
and whatnot.
as this is happening.
Yeah,
is
and
when
it
they get
didn't
crushed.
matter. We didn't know if anybody survived, so I guess they didn't address that no further. If these characters are done, we can only afford them for 12 scenes.
And they were like, "Oh man, this guy already fucked up and called him Doog, so we just have to like cut the scene right here, like just kill Doog, so he doesn't have to fuck up his name anymore." So they kill everyone, and then at that point, they have up in space. Brian and Halle Berry and Casey have all like devised their plan about how they're going to, like use the EMP against the swarm without damaging the dwarf that's inside the moon, so that the moon can continue on doing
We can
what
go
it's
back
supposed
to it
do.
where it's supposed to.
And so that's when Casey decides, like, that he's going to be the flat earther hero of the movie. And
You keep going with this angle, man.
Sorry, I can't.
You
I can't
keep
help
going
it.
with this angle.
So he decides that he's going to, like, lure the swarm away from the craft so that they can like escape, and so he shoots himself out with a EMP like into the mouth of the swarm basically, and then he detonates it, and then Brian and Halle Berry are able to
Escape.
get away safely. Escape.
And good thing the Earth is right there. That wasn't a long trip home. They hopped out the moon and they fucking deploy their parachutes. I'm so serious.
Like, literally, as soon as they were just boink, they were there.
Yeah.
And then they also, this part, they were not clear on either, because it's like they land and then it shows Brian getting out of the spaceship and Halle Berry's already out. And Brian's like, how much time has passed? And meanwhile, I'm thinking, I don't know. Like, you have not told me at all during this movie how much time has passed, but sure. And she doesn't even answer him. She's just like, we did it. The Earth is okay, and we're alive. And then all of a sudden, this chopper shows up. Oh, no. Brian says, is that a tracking device on our thing? And she's like, I sure hope so. And then a helicopter comes around the corner and is there all of a sudden. And
well, she called her son, remember? And she's like, I'm at the Chrysler building, which is on its side in like Antarctica somehow.
That's what it looks like in Antarctica, but then it also shows the helicopter showing up to save Sonny and his mom and everybody else, and they look like they're in a similar location because
they look like they could have walked to each other.
Yeah, because then Brian and Halle Berry get off of the helicopter that's there for Sonny and them, and it's like,
What just
were
happened?
you just over the ridge and that's how that happened, or like did you helicopter all the way from
Did
Antarctica?
we really land like right next to you?
How much time has passed? Who knows? And so everybody gets reunited. The moon is back to doing what it's supposed to do.
Without its normal white milky crust.
Now it looks all crazy.
It looks like the Death Star.
Like the Death Star. And then you see that the AI that was inside the moon reconstructs Casey's like consciousness, like it saves it and then integrates him into the system, so he like gets to live on inside the moon, which he's totally stoked about.
Yeah, he's down.
And he gets to see his like reconstruction of his cat Fuzz Aldrin and his mom. And then the movie ends by him like looking at the camera and being like, all right, let's get started. And that's it.
No, that's not how it ended.
That's how it ends.
No, the AI was like, well, we better get started. And he said, get started on what? And then it was like roll
that's
credits.
Right. Yeah, that's right. His mom, his fake mom, which was actually the AI system, said that to him. Yeah, let's get started.
We're gonna send more AI in the universe when our AI tried to kill us.
Fuck if I know. They literally didn't tell us what they're getting started on. And as
no,
far as
I'm saying
I know,
that's what happened. Their AI turned on them, and then they sent more AI, different AI, into the universe.
But they said they had stripped it down to its base, like so that
that's a fucking strong base. It rebuilt their fucking ship.
That's what it said.
Okay.
It was like, we know this isn't gonna like retaliate on us because
if you believed everything so far,
you'll believe this.
You'll believe this.
Who knows? Maybe that AI system's gonna like recruit Casey's consciousness.
So, what do you rate this movie?
3.5 fuzz aldrins out of 10.
I give it 0.5 moons out of 10. A little crescent moon.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I gave it a higher score than you.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
And this is one of the ones I picked.
But but also that wasn't like Cool World bad, which I know you didn't suffer through that with me. But
I knew better.
It wasn't that bad, and I gave that a 0. So if you give this movie a 0.5,
that's my rating.
I know that's just I don't know.
That's my rating.
Yeah, I guess my rating system is forever fucked by Cool World. Nothing can be possibly as low as that movie is. God, I don't even want to think about it.
With Pitt.
All right, and that was it. That's Moonfall. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope our audio wasn't too fucky. We were having issues, and it sounds weird to me. Hopefully it came through okay for y'all, but anyways, write in and let us know which cheesy B movie is your favorite. And if you know about this director, writer, producer, which one of his specifically is your favorite? We have a Facebook page at Good Movie Hunting or at GMH Podcast, Twitter at GMH Pod, Instagram at GMH Podcast. Our email is goodmoviehuntingpod@gmail.com, and our YouTube is Good Movie Hunting Podcast. All right, everybody. Talk to y'all next week.
See you later, Doog.
Pictures up, fire, please.
Parker? What's on your mind?
I've thought about this all night. Whether what I'm about to do is the right thing or not.
Let me go in and talk to him alone, Dr. Mallory.
I did so only because he was working along lines contrary to the good of mankind.
Well, Rangers, looks as though Agents Mackenzie and Hopkins are going to have to get to that hacienda and get there mighty fast.
To crush all opposition, to make the most powerful